Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome to the Wednesday weekish sort of thing. With me in the room, we've got James.
Hello, it's very strange to actually be in the same room as you.
It is very strange and rather erotic. We've got Victoria.
Hi, my lord.
We've got Babs.
Hi, my lord.
We've got Babs again.
Hi, my lord.
We've still got Babs.
Hello.
I love Babs. Richard's here as well.
Hello there, how are you?
And John's here.
Hello.
Mr. Hibbard is here.
Hello.
In the flesh.
Hello.
With all his flesh.
Hello.
He's so fleshy. But no, this is absolutely fantastic to finally be here. But last game of the season, the atmosphere is buzzing. Wednesday fans have been singing downstairs. It has been absolutely amazing. James, are you worried about today?
I'm not going to lie, all week I've been fine, and then I woke up this morning and I was nervous as hell. I was really, really nervous this morning. A couple of beers has sort of helped with that a little bit, but I am still quite nervous. Today is a massive, massive game. It really is a huge game. And I hope when people listen to this, they'll think, what was he worrying about? Because we'll have won 5-0.
Hopefully.
Or maybe 7-0.
7-0 is the average that we should be winning by. But no, today it reminded me a bit of sort of the Wycombe game, the Sheffield United game, the big games we've had over the last couple of years.
Yeah, it has that feel to it today. It really does. Like, everyone's really pumped for this game. The atmosphere is, like, it's buzzing. It's brilliant. I got here at 11:30, which is, contrary to popular belief, quite early for me to get to the pub. And it was really busy here already. Like, there were people. We didn't get our normal corner of the pub. It was that busy. So yeah, there's a lot of people out. The atmosphere is fantastic. The sun was shining earlier. It's now raining a bit. We'll ignore that. So yeah, I think it's going to be a great day, and we just need the result. I will take the most boring, the most dire of 0-0 draws today, as long as it secures the result. That's all I'm bothered about today.
Absolutely. Of course, we've all seen Carlos's video online, so we do need to get behind the clubs. Obviously, by the time people hear this, the match will hopefully be won already, and we will have had that little sort of everybody getting behind the team. So we have got a very, very special guest tonight. Are you going to scream, "We're all Wednesday, aren't we," for us, Reese? Go on, I tell you, from there, rather than screaming it, shout from there, "We're all Wednesday, aren't we?"
Go on, Reese.
I tell you what about if we all do it together? After 3. 1, 2, 3.
We're all Wednesday, aren't we? We're all Wednesday, aren't we?
Chance here, a great save by Turner from McClare. Mike Hannon, a terrific goal by Sheridan.
Brexman against Jones. Get in.
You could have 2 goalkeepers in there, they would have trouble saving that.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Wednesday Week, the Sheffield Wednesday podcast. Of course, you've heard a little intro there. That was from before the Cardiff game, and obviously we all know what has happened since. Of course, with me on the line this evening, first of all, we have Victoria. Hello there, my darling.
Hello, my lord. How are you?
I'm jolly well, thank you very much. Jolly well, better than usual. We've got Rich Davies, Dicky Owl. How the devil are you, Rich, old bean?
I'm fantastic, Your Honourable Lord.
Honourable Lord. Ooh,
Honourable,
right.
yes. Yeah, apparently I've been told to say that. I don't know what it means, but
I don't know who paid to say that, but it's very kind of you to say so.
I couldn't even spell it. So.
And of course, we've got Eddie. Hello there, the old boy.
Mirror, mirror on the wall. Tell me, mirror, what is wrong? Can it be my Bannon clothes, or is it just my Bannon song? What I do ain't make-believe. People say I sit and try, but when it comes to being Bannon, it's just me, myself, and Barry.
Oh, brilliant.
Good evening, everyone. I just thought we've got enough Bannon songs. I think what we need are more Bannon songs. So I'm putting it out there. I think De La Soul and probably the perfect canvas for Barry Bannon.
Is that number 6 now? Officially number 6?
That's officially now number 6. No one else can take that from me.
And I'm sure we could pick something up from Banana Man with the Bannon Man thing.
Absolutely.
Number 7 in there somewhere.
Have you got that written on a piece of paper in front of you, Eddie? Please tell me how, because that'd be hilarious.
Oh no! I'm a student of the game, aren't I? Coming up on a mean street.
You're just 50 Cent from Thirst. God,
Serious,
man.
man. When you're coming up on a mean street of South Central North Yorkshire, you better have your rhymes on fleek, because you know that you're going to be tested, whether it be with the gun or whether it be with a mic. You know how we do.
Are your knees weak and are your palms sweaty?
I got mom's spaghetti all night
Right then, ladies and gents. So, well, let's crack on, shall we? As Rich mentioned there, as you've heard, we did have a bit of a gathering, shall we say, in the reside before the game, and we did meet Bannon Man, which I'm sure everybody's seen pictures of social media from. Again, please do look at the Wednesday week Twitter feed, and we'll put that out there as well. Unfortunately, James isn't with us this evening. He's off in Ireland stalking footballers. We'll come to that later as well. But before the game, James actually had a chat with the man himself, Bannon Man.
It's just before 2 o'clock. It's match day. Sheffield Wednesday against Cardiff. James here, and we're here with. I mean, this is the most amazing outfit I've ever seen. So you are Bannon Man.
Bannon Man, yeah.
Bannon Man.
Yeah.
And I don't know how would I even describe what you're wearing right now.
Banana Man with a bit of Barry Bannon out back.
It is. So it is a Banana Man outfit, and then on the back you've got Bannon Man 41. How did this happen?
I don't know. I just thought he's a superhero for us, innit? So I want to show my appreciation for him today at last game of the season, last home game anyway.
So how did you even get the name and number printed on the back? Did you take it to the club shop?
Yeah, I went to the club shop a couple of days ago, and it cost £12 to have it brought back.
And what, did they just do it, or did they say what are you doing here?
Basically, they said they're not supposed to do it on capes and stuff like that, but yeah, I think it's a special occasion. So
I'm guessing you are a big Barry Bannon fan.
Yeah, he's a maestro in midfield, isn't he? So yeah.
And what are you thinking today then?
I'm thinking we should win easy, 3-0, hopefully.
3-0, you confident then?
Yeah.
What about the playoffs?
I don't think we should fear anyone in playoffs. I mean, there's only Middlesbrough's beat us in top 6, so.
If we get to the playoff final, what outfit are you going to rack out for that? Because you've got somewhere to go to beat this.
I don't know. Something with Forestieri on, maybe. I don't know.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Cheers.
And there he goes, Bannon Man, ladies and gents. God, that costume was absolutely fantastic, wasn't it? And the poor chap, I don't know how long he sort of carried those two great big inflatable bananas around with him for, but you can't blame the chap for getting involved, can you? It was an absolute party atmosphere. I mean, the fans before the game, everybody was really buzzing for this one, and it didn't disappoint, did it, ladies and gents?
No, it certainly didn't. I mean, the first half, don't get me wrong, was not very exciting, was it? It was okay. It was good. It was better than we've been against most of the top 6 all season. And Cardiff was so disappointing. I was absolutely if I was one of their fans, I'd smash lot up. To be honest.
Hang on, which fans? Because from what I could tell, they brought about 600, which is the same as MK Dons brought.
You really confused me then. I thought I'd named the wrong team. I was like, oh my God, I thought I'd Coke.
The only person who named the wrong team was when we had a substitution early on in the first half of the week. And it appeared that Coventry City were bringing players on. Not satisfied with beating Cardiff, we also had to take on extra substitutes coming from Cov. So, what a shout out to Shawnee. We love that. But yeah, no, it was a bit of a funny atmosphere because the Wednesday guys were in full on party mood, weren't they? I looked over to the Cop and there were plenty of inflatables going on. There was that kind of feeling of a Sheffield derby, feeling of those big games, the Wickham promotion game, all of that. And then you looked towards the West Stand and there was basically nothing. There's some kids who looked like they'd turned up for a pre-season game. And you know what? If I was Cardiff's players, no wonder they didn't deliver. They didn't bring anything to the party because their fans didn't turn up. They didn't give any backing to their players. And as a result, their players couldn't really pull anything out of the game to counter what we were doing, which was to absolutely stifle everything they did.
I think one thing it highlighted, though, is how good it is to be a Wednesday fan. Because you go to any away game and you could be losing 6-0 and we'll still be cheering we want 7.
I looked at
They had no interest whatsoever, did they? They were playing for a point, and they needed more than a point. And it was so frustrating the first half. It was terrible.
I looked at this morning. I was going through the programme from Saturday, and I thought I'm going to, we're at the end of the season now, so you can start to look at patterns in our team, lineups and attendances and all that sort of stuff. Do you want to know what our lowest away attendance of the season is? So not Cardiff bringing fans here, but Wednesday fans travelling. What was our lowest away attendance of the season? Does anyone know?
1,200.
Yeah, you're not far off. It was. It was just short of 1,200. Which game was it?
Brighton.
No,
Yes,
1,700 to Brighton.
All right.
Ipswich.
Got to be somebody with a tiny
No.
stadium, because
Can't be
it
Ipswich.
would have sold out the allocation of a tiny little away end.
You know what? We did our bit at every single game this season, and I tell you what, the second lowest that we took was probably our furthest journey. That was to Cardiff in the middle of the season. That was 1,200 and something, right?
Wow.
1,176 or something like that went to Elland Road, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Right.
Sky,
£900 a ticket.
Exactly. And that's the reason why. The only reason why we didn't travel in numbers to Elland Road was out of protest, because not because we don't want to watch Leeds for
This is a shit place to
no,
go.
exactly. But there you go. Can you imagine any kind of scenario, even against Leeds? Imagine that Sheffield Wednesday are 7th in the table with 2 games to go. We go to Elland Road with Leeds 6th in the table, and Massimo Cellino, because he's an absolute mentalist, charges £112 a ticket. We would still take 4,000 there for that game. The fact that Cardiff have so little, either, I don't know, is it belief, is it passion in their team to get the job done? They literally send a couple of minibuses up. So you know what, their team. I thought the fans let their team down massively, and they couldn't, when things were going against them, when the Wednesday fans were up and at it, and we were brilliant. We had a fantastic atmosphere. We created a fun, positive, not intimidating necessarily atmosphere, but a really good, lively atmosphere. The Cardiff players didn't have anything to latch onto, because I didn't hear their fans all day.
I was going to say, it's not just numbers, is it? It's about actually creating an atmosphere as well. And there were a few of their, quote, ultras that were giving it some. But other than that, there was just nothing. Nothing.
Do you know what it reminded me of? It goes back to a game in 1993, and it's when we played Blackburn over 2 legs, when we had that amazing, I think it's 4-1 at Blackburn.
Absolutely.
And then we came back to Hillsborough for the second leg when Nielsen hit the post and scared the pants off us all. And I looked across and thought, where are all their fans? This is a semi-final of the League Cup. Where are they? And it was very much, it felt the same on Saturday, that they just, they got the chance to kind of, they still got a chance before the game. We might not have thought as much, but they didn't seem up for it at all in any way, shape or form. And I think the team panned that out as well, that they weren't particularly, and maybe that was a bit of the performance from us was as good as it's probably been this season from my perspective.
Absolutely. I mean, again, obviously, we've spoken about the first half, which, it was great. It was exciting to a point. Obviously, Hooper hit the bar first half, and et cetera, et cetera. But the thing for me was, again, the Wednesday fans latching on to Carlos's video before the game, just mentioning that if the players are going to do something wrong, if there are mistakes made, to cheer them on and not moan at them. And we did, and it was brilliant, and we were well rewarded in the second half, weren't we?
Just before the second half, I took Carlos's video to heart so much that at half time I went down to get a pie, and the usual thing occurred of the staff there not knowing what a pie was, and then not knowing what they were meant to charge me for it, and then not knowing how
calculator out.
Exactly, calculator got out, and they still got the change wrong, right? But I clapped and cheered them all the way through half time, because I thought, you know what, that's what Carlos would have wanted.
You stand there, and you know you are, did you?
But eventually, obviously, Hooper managed to break that deadlock. Of course, it came in from a shot from Padil. I'm still undecided on that. And obviously, it was saved by the keeper. And Hooper just reacted so quickly, didn't he? It really was a proper poacher's goal.
He was outstanding, wasn't he? I mean, let's not kill this here. He was unbelievable on Saturday. He was the player that, yes, don't get me wrong, he's been far from poor for the last few months. But on Saturday, he really, really showed so much commitment to that. And I mean, obviously we're talking about his first goal at the moment, but his second goal, oh, well, not technically his goal, because
The goal he made, he created.
Yeah, I had a £5 bet on a Hooper hat trick, so I'm a little bit angry about that second goal. 33, 35 to 1. But I'll take that. That's fine. But he was brilliant, wasn't he? He really, really, he grafted all the way through.
I think he probably needed that. Sorry, Eddie. He probably needed those goals. He's not scored for a bit, and just to be good into the playoffs on the back of a performance like that and goals, it's exactly what you needed to to kick us on.
Absolutely,
100%. What I was going to say there, it was so important for us to. It's not so much carrying form in, because actually our form, our play hasn't been bad. We haven't got the number of wins that we probably would have wanted over the last 3 or 4 games, but our performances have been really strong. The one kind of glaring hole was Gary Hooper had gone off the boil a bit, and especially for him, he's quite a streaky scorer. If he gets into a rhythm, he can absolutely dominate at this level. So I think it was important for him to score. It was brilliant to see him score. But you know what? The thing that really struck me was probably enforced more than anything. How much do you think Hooper's performance and the fact that he became almost the engine room up front, how much was that due to the fact that Forestieri was moved out wide and was performing a different role to the one that he's been performing the last few weeks?
I think what it creates is because Forestieri obviously has 2 or 3 players around him, and then when he moves out wide and he gets put out wide, he gets people following him out there. So then it creates space for us, and I think Hooper capitalised on that immensely on Saturday.
And he pulls plays about himself as well, doesn't Gary Hooper?
Yeah.
I think it almost was the perfect. I'm not going to say that we should play that way every single week, but against a fairly static Cardiff D, I think that combination of Hooper pressing really high, João getting onto the end of long balls and kind of pressing when we lost possession, and Forestieri dragging players towards him just by kind of force of gravity. That worked really well, and it created so much extra space on the other side of the pitch, where Jack Hunt probably had his best game in a Wednesday shirt, I think, on Saturday. He was absolutely unstoppable. He didn't have Wallace in front of him, so he was given that full license to roam. And he just absolutely tore up, yard after yard after yard of pitch, time and time again, down that right flank. It was we've talked about it quite a lot on the podcast over the year, that Carlos, he's a real tactician, and that was a tactical masterclass from him. He looked at what we could do with the players that we had. He looked at what opponents we were going to face, and he created a team and a game plan that exploited that to its full. And, the proof of the pudding is that at no point in that game did we ever look uncomfortable, did we?
No, not in the slightest.
I'll tell you who did look uncomfortable, though. What the chuff is Sammy Amiobi doing? Professional footballer. I mean, I hated Shola. I've always hated Shola Amiobi. I'm actually quite good friends with Tomi Amiobi, the younger brother. And he knows how much I hate Shola, so that's fine. But sorry, Tomi. But he was just terrible, wasn't he? I mean, you'd think there'd be something about him to sign him from Newcastle, or to even have this player that's got the name. But he was just, Jesus Christ, you could have stuck my nan in there. He was terrible.
Looked like he'd won a competition, didn't he?
Speaking of winning competitions, Victoria, I believe one of your family members was involved in the competition at half-time.
Yes, I forgot about that. Yes, my darling Uncle Alan, he took the half-time penalties. And at half-time, it was chosen completely at random. Like, he sits on the Kop, but he does happen to be mates with the announcer guy. So when he was called out, he, ran down, they had a bit of a joke and whatever else, oh, I can't believe it's you, or hit him on the head. So he told him to hit Ozzie in the face. And God bless him, my uncle hit him square in the face.
Not God bless him.
Ozzie still has a very poorly head.
Not God bless him, arrest him. Poor Ozzie Owl. Oh,
I know. I felt terrible, but that was brilliant.
It takes me back to the time when Kevin Pressman took Ozzie's head off, when Dave Barber, the groundsman, was the man in situ, and he took his head off and stuck it on his arse, basically. Just, so he was in the middle of the pictures. He had a thunderbolt from Preston.
That sounds all kind of wrong. I spent half time because luckily when I went down for my half time ablutions, I managed to sort of grab Paddy Jones from the Newark County. He sort of walked past, so and I saw his dad as well, which I have not seen for such a long time. So I thought, not to worry, I'll get him on his way back. So I stood at the bottom of the cop waiting for Paddy to come back and never saw him. So Paddy, if you're listening, old boy, sorry I missed you. Mate, it's just an awful time to miss you. I apologise.
He saw you, mate, and then he immediately left the ground,
Just
went to the airport, flew back to New York, and now he's happy. I think as soon as he got back, he ordered a pizza just to get over the shock of almost seeing you again.
Oh dear, typical Paddy.
Shout out.
Of course.
I enjoyed most about the match on Saturday was random hugging. Now,
Absolutely.
I've not done random hugging for ages at Hillsborough, and on Saturday, the first goal I ended up in a row in front with on some woman's knee, just about. Second goal, I cut my leg, and the third goal, Reece, my son, got a bruised nose from it, and it was just all random hugging. I absolutely loved it.
Can't beat a bit of a random hug, can you? But
That's me out.
That's the kind of atmosphere it turned into. It really did turn into. Once we'd all relaxed and we were 2 goals in front and we could see what was happening on the pitch, it did turn into that lovely, relaxed atmosphere. We knew we were heading for the playoffs. We knew we've got this game against Wolves coming up where we can relax for the first time all chuffing season and just possibly enjoy a match of football.
Can I just stop you there and do a typical Victoria moment?
Fire away.
We're in the playoffs for the fucking Premiership.
Are in the playoffs.
We are in the playoffs. That is unbelievable. At the beginning of this season, when I said Carlos won't be here by Christmas, I hold my hands up. What an amazing season. Like, I obviously had a season ticket early 90s, well, late 80s, early 90s. And I remember those times, but I remember them as, well, that's just, that's what we do. We're in the Premiership, we like win cups and stuff. But then it's all gone to shit. And all of a sudden, it's brilliant. Like, let's just bask in a moment here.
I wouldn't so much say all of a sudden. It's been a long wait and a long show. I remember it wasn't too long ago we had the Wolves knocking at the door, and that's an amazing thing for me that we can again just be proud of the club and get behind it and scream and shout and have fun and enjoy the match, and that's the atmosphere that was created at the end of that game. And
it does feel though, since Mr. Chansiri came in, that it has just been such a turning point.
Absolutely.
Just, obviously, like Mr. Mandrich, brilliant, wonderful, and sold us exactly to the right person, as he promised he would.
Mm-hmm.
But oh my God, this is Sheffield Wednesday. Are we meant to be doing this?
Yeah, things have been done right again.
And the special thing is for the next generation, like my kids now. They can. We've been there, done it, and seen it. People like me, Ed, and Rich, maybe not yourself, Vic, so much, but we've been there, and seen it, and done it.
Don't just cut him out.
Forget
it. 25.
Definitely mention me.
I did say Ed, didn't I? So it's there for our kids, who's quite special for them that they could possibly see Premier League football at Hillsborough, which would be amazing, for me personally, but more so living the dream through
Absolutely, and that's where, as you said, that we went. Our dads took us, and etc. and it's just there's no better, more magical place than Hillsborough when the crowd are like that, and again when the players came back to do the lap of honour, I think that sort of got past to the players as well, because the players were brilliant while they were in the lap of honour, weren't they? The olays, the hands out, and all that kind of business, and it was just lovely to be relaxed and fun at Hillsborough again.
Relaxed is the word, isn't it, Your Lordship? Because the job isn't done yet. Okay, the players came out onto that pitch knowing that there was going to be one more home game, and then hopefully there was going to be one more winner takes all must-win game on the horizon. But just in the sunshine in Hillsborough, that was just the chance for us all to say, you know what, this is part of the journey, and we are enjoying this together. The fans and the players, the team spirit is absolutely unbelievable, and it's the product of probably 3 years of building that squad together. And the fans are starting to kind of believe, and we're so guilty, Wednesday fans, of being both cynical when things don't go right, and we're
No.
also no, we are.
No.
Yeah, we are. I don't know whether you've
No,
noticed
we're
it, Vic,
not.
but it does tend to happen. And also we pine for the early 90s in the same way that I remember when I was a kid. My dad, who had been through all of the absolute crap of the 70s, would say, he'd say, you'll never believe what it used to be like in the 60s when Wednesday were, running up to Spurs, where we were playing in Europe, where Pele came, and all this sort of stuff. And I'd be like, yeah, whatever, Dad, you're stupid, you're talking rubbish. Now, I feel it, like Rich said, for not just our kids who are, they don't really know any different. They don't really understand how bad Wednesday were even 5 years ago.
Not at all.
But there's a whole generation of ladies and gentlemen in their 20s now who went through all of the crap and only have even the haziest memories of when we were actually good. So this is the journey. This is the bit that's so exciting. And even if we don't do it this year, there's going to be next season and the season after. And one day we will get to what is the greatest point of it all. Because, let's be honest, what Leicester have done is a freak of nature. And I'm not saying that Wednesday can't do it, and I'm not saying that Wednesday won't do it, but I'm saying that we have to be prepared for the idea that the moment where the clouds break and Hillsborough in the sunshine is as beautiful as it's ever been, is that moment that we get promoted to the Premier League. After that we're going to go back into a kind of slog of, let's see if we can survive. Let's see if we can consolidate. Let's see if we can push on to the top half. Let's see if we can sneak a European place. We're not going to go up there. Almost certainly, we're not going to go up there and be dominating teams and getting in the Champions League and spending European nights together. So let's enjoy the journey while it happens, and let's see how far we can go. But the very, very first step is right now, where getting into the playoffs is us getting our club back, getting back to where we were before the wastefulness and the bad management and the bad decisions that were made that saw us not only drop out of the Premier League in the first place, but also accrue a massive amount of debt, get into all kinds of problems as far as not only signings on the field, but also the attitude that we had towards the fans and the divisions that we have within the fan base. All of that is in the past now. And we have a great opportunity to just really enjoy the ride. And Saturday was the first point in that, in terms of, hey, you know what? We have overachieved this season. So we now have 2 games where we're going to be able to go out there as the underdogs and do everything we can to roar our team on to something extra special, which is going to result in an even better day at the end of May. So, let's savor the moment. Let's enjoy it for what it is and not worry too much about the future, because it's, Saturday proved that it can be bloody fun being a Wednesday fan sometimes.
Yeah. Of course, another wonderful thing that happened on Saturday as well is Victoria had her bucket filled, didn't you?
My bucket was filled to the brim, my lord. Right, so I'm so excited about this. I'm like manoeuvring towards my microphone. So normally on a good day at Hillsborough, you're talking about £800 from a bucket collection. But I had the most amazing volunteers. I had some guys that listened to the podcast, Corey, Matt, and a few others, who all came down and obviously got their free ticket. But I made it very, very clear that this wasn't about a free ticket. This was about raising money for charity. And they were brilliant. I had some awesome people. One lady got money off Mr. Chansiri to let him into the ground.
Wow.
Unbelievable. Louise from Hillsborough Arena. Awesome. And we actually raised, £1,600.
Wow.
Which is just, that is double a good day. That is double, like, an amazing day out. Like, awesome. And to be fair, like, I was quite cautious of putting people in different places around the ground, just because obviously there was going to be a lot of people there, and it suddenly started to rain, and there was a lot of police presence and whatever else. So I was quite cautious about saying, you stand here, you stand there. But to be fair, the guys that came, like guys and girls, all were more than willing to go wherever I said. I told them, you don't have to go in the Leppings Lane end. I completely understand if you don't want to go there. And about 4 of them did, because they were like, sod it, we're not bothered. We just want to shake a bucket. And yeah, 1,600 quid. That is
Incredible.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
So that is the equivalent
Brilliant
in
work.
Cavendish terms. So in Cavendish cash, that is 60 sessions of therapy for somebody, for people affected by cancer in South Yorkshire. So that is amazing. Thank you so much.
Well done, Vic. Well done, all the volunteers. And
Not well done
Brilliant.
me.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't do anything. I just set them off with a bucket. Well done the volunteers. They were unbelievable.
Must admit,
Absolutely incredible.
when I left the riverside, I walked over the bridge, and I like to go and see the owl before I go in, etc., etc. I saw one of, a few of Vic's bucket shakers, shall we say. So I duly did my duty and said to the chap, fantastic.
Julie.
Good old Julie. Me, Julie.
Sorry.
I said to the chap, Vic's bucket's fantastic. I said, we've been plugging this on the podcast. Pleased to meet you. I'm Lord Hillsborough. Clearly not a listener. Clearly thought I was some insane man. Which was brilliant. So, yeah, whoever you were, lovely chap, fantastic. Kept a big smile on his face.
Did he have a little beard?
Honestly, I was so embarrassed after I'd said all that. And it's clearly saying to somebody in real life, I've come to fill Vic's bucket, is just wrong and bad.
It's wrong in podcast life, but
You might as well have gone up to him and said, I'm the Pink Panther.
I'm the wide alpha.
Exactly.
But no, brilliant, absolutely fantastic.
Incredible.
Well done.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you.
Oh no. Jeeves, we're going to need some more equipment.
Then you need to speak to Oddballs, a speciality.
What the?
Oddballs, a speciality deal in steel, food, and engineering equipment.
Where's that voice coming from?
We offer great deals on all types of equipment and can include dismantling, delivery, and erection anywhere in the world.
Did he just say erect?
We can also buy your surplus equipment or sell it on commission. With over 30 years' experience, let us achieve the best deal for you.
Where can I find out more, Voice in the Sky?
Go to www.bentoria.com.
You heard him, folks. Jeeves, get a broom. Right then, ladies and gentlemen, so let's crack on, shall we? And of course, after all the excitement, etc., etc., Victoria managed to sort of bump into somewhat of a Wednesday celebrity, didn't you, Vic? In a roundabout sort of way.
Indeed. I went to the Park Hotel afterwards with my friend Alistair, my friend John, my mum and dad, and my friend Olive Grove from Twitter, aka John as well. And while we were sat all talking and having a drink and whatever else, someone pointed out that the man that just walked past and went to the toilet was the man that cried on Sky.
Ah, the Derby game.
Yes. So naturally, the first thing I did was grab my muff and follow him to the toilet. So I spent the next couple of minutes stood outside the Park Hotel toilets and with my mum's phone because my battery had died. So I had to grab my mum's phone, grab my muff, and this is the interview. I'm so sorry. So, how many text messages did you get at that point when you cried?
142.
Did you?
Well,
I did tweet you and had a little laugh at you.
Is
You
that
did,
you?
You favourited it.
Yeah, I know who you are then.
There you go. So,
Hey! I didn't even know we'd scored, you I didn't even know we'd scored. I didn't know we'd scored.
you didn't even know we'd scored.
I didn't know we'd scored.
I didn't even know we'd scored. How much stick have you had since?
Oh, a lot.
Did you score, Jack?
A lot.
A lot.
Did you score?
And how do you feel after today?
Jack can
Buzzing. Unbelievable.
Did you cry when we reached the playoffs?
Nearly. Not quite.
What about if we...
By the way, I need to go in.
What about if we actually get promoted,
Jack can score.
Oh, promotion party!
Right then, so there's Jack, the sky crier, I should imagine we can call him, and his lovely friends, Vic's trying to help him in the background there.
Yeah, they were lovely. Lovely people. I hope that's been edited as much as it possibly can be before
Yes,
we put
it
it out
has.
on a podcast.
Bleep, 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 bleep.
I have actually stopped bleeping the majority of what goes on the podcast, but that
That was
needed
horrendous.
to be bleeped.
But to be fair, I was stood outside the toilets. The poor guy had no idea that he was going to be interviewed by the Wednesday Week. And they was like, oh, you're that bird off Twitter. Rah. And yeah, so then about 10 of his friends crowded around me. And I don't know if you've been in the Park Hotel, but that is a really, really small corridor with that amount of people around
It is in there.
outside. And it smells of weed. So
I
it's
guess
quite an uncomfortable situation.
I guess it's not very often he gets accosted by a lady with a muff in her hand outside the toilets in a Park Hotel.
That would have made me cry as well. But no, I mean, a brilliant point is made there, because, of course, the next thing we've got there is a playoffs. Jack and his mates mentioned the playoff party they'd have if that happened. And the question is now, who we're looking forward to facing in the playoffs?
I want Borough, just so we can all stay at Eddie's house.
I like your logistics right here. Yeah,
that's so going to happen. Do you know, if it's Brighton, I cannot be arsed, right? But if it's Borough, I'm so booking off like Monday afternoon and all of day Tuesday, and we are staying at your house, Eddie. I don't even care if you don't want us to. We're going to.
There's no don't want us to about it. My house is Party HQ. We are 20 miles from the ground. In fact, I suspect the Wednesday team will probably use it as their base as well.
I've got both days booked off, the Monday, Tuesday, booked off from work now. So wherever it is, whatever happens, I'm going to make sure I can do as much as I can to get there. So Brighton or Borough, I don't really care.
In all seriousness, it's actually going to be really interesting to see who it is, because while we are sunning ourselves on the beach in Wolverhampton at the weekend, Brighton and Borough are going to be going at it, like serious balls to the wall, strongest teams, giving it their all. I hope there are 5 sendings off, 16 injuries, solid carnage happening, and one team emerges victorious and worthy of it, because whoever isn't is going to have to deal with the fact that, if it's Brighton, they'll have done a 300-mile in each direction round trip up to Middlesbrough, and then they're going to have to come up to Sheffield again, kind of 4 days later. And if it's Borough, they're going to have to come down to Hillsborough and play a team that, let's be honest here, after the first 87 seconds or whatever it was, just before New Year, comprehensively played them off the park with a team that included Jeremy Hillan playing up front. So, you know what? I'm really looking forward to it. I was quite, when it became obvious we were going to finish 6th, I was thinking, you know what? The playoffs are great, but I don't think we've got enough to beat these two teams. Actually, I think what's going to happen this week is a massive leveler for us. And I'm glad that we've got the first leg at Hillsborough, because you know what? We will bring the noise once again. We will fill the ground with Wednesday fans, especially at the price is £20 a ticket for adults. Well done.
Unbelievable.
And thank you, Mr. Chansiri, for that.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant.
Unbelievable. We're going to make it absolutely huge. And honestly, I don't care who comes, because I think they're going to be intimidated by a Wednesday team that has their tails up and fans that are, we want it so much. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the prospect, and I'll be watching the game up at the Riverside Stadium on Saturday with a lot of interest, because they're not going to pull any punches, because it's for all the marbles, isn't it? This is getting promoted, so they're going to leave nothing out there, and I just hope that whoever doesn't make it really has nothing left in the tank, and we can pick them off, because you know what, it's a nice situation to be in, I think, right now.
Absolutely. And again, as you said, I mean, Carlos has been touting us as underdogs. He did a very sort of similar thing with Arsenal. Personally, I think Carlos might be underplaying us a little bit, maybe just to get us sort of a false sense of security.
No, we're terrible, aren't we?
No, we're not
They don't
terrible.
want to play us. It's too much of me. No, play along with it. Play along with it.
Sorry. Yes, we're awful, Victoria. How on earth have we made this playoff?
Really, really easy game for them. They can just sit back and let it happen. Yeah.
I don't think there's any pressure on us whatsoever. It's just go out there, play, and Carlos won't go up there for a draw or anything like that. It's not going to be, even if we're, it's God forbid, we're 3-0 up after the first game. Even then, he wouldn't go for a draw. I don't think. It's not his style, and it'd just be. If we don't get going, you go up or get into the final. Nobody's going to be completely gutted. We'll be disappointed, I think. But as Eddie said earlier, we are overachieving right now, and to get here is such a massive thing for us, and the rest is a bonus.
Well, this is what Carlos does, isn't it? He goes up, he gets his great big Portuguese balls out and says, "Here, have a cracking look at them," and then that's it. Off we fly. Right then, ladies and gents. So let's have a little natter about the Wolves game, shall we? And I'm sure you can hear in the background. We've got a little visitor with us. James has popped in from his holiday to say hello. Hi there, jail boy.
As you can tell, I'm in a traditional Irish bar playing traditional Irish music in the background.
Traditional 80s Irish music.
Hi.
Hi. This isn't your proper holiday, though. Your proper holiday is in June.
No, this is like a mini break. This is just it's been a stressful few weeks. Been a Sheffield Wednesday fan, so I thought I'd treat myself to a little break in Belfast, just to get my head in order before the Wolves game and then the playoffs after that.
Fantastic.
What have you been up to then, James?
Since I've been in Belfast.
Yeah.
Is it broadcastable?
I'm not going to lie to you. It's mainly involved beer.
Oh
this
my God,
will
I'm so
not
shocked.
come as a surprise. I'm in the place that I'm in now is a really small kind of. I guess you'd describe it as like a cafe bar, but it has a very good selection of beer. I'm currently drinking a grapefruit IPA. It's very nice. It's very nice. I have to tell you about the flight here because. And this is God's honest truth, about 4 people behind me in the queue to go through like airport security was Kieran Westwood. Genuinely.
Did you touch him?
Did you grope him?
Yeah, I had a damn good think about it, but no, I didn't. But it got straight through security. No, no questions asked. They obviously knew who he was. They know that he's Sheffield Wednesday, so he got straight through.
Was he carrying like a Louis Vuitton boot bag under his arm, like his actual
travelling
armpit?
very light.
They never just carry them, do they? They're always in the armpit.
He was. All I can tell you, he was on his own. He was travelling very light. He only had kind of one bag with him, but he was wearing very nice trainers. He wasn't.
Would expect nothing less.
Yeah.
Were they
He
clean?
wasn't
You can
on
tell
the,
a lot from a man from his trainers.
Yeah.
Were
Very
they high
clean.
tech?
He was very
Dollar.
No, they were
Like
like
Jordans.
Were they a
Air Max.
pair
They
of
got the little air bubbles in the
matchsticks?
side. It was
British
that.
Knights.
But he wasn't on the plane to Belfast, so I assumed that he was going to Dublin, which I don't know if that means anything, but it was yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. So the Tuesday on a normal week where we've got a game on the Saturday, I don't know if that would suggest that he's been granted a bit of leave and he's not going to play on Saturday. I don't know.
It's a really good point.
The one thing that
maybe
I need to know is whether when he got to the gate and they announced, can passengers in rows, 21 to 38, please come forward and board the plane. Did he then crouch down with a towel over his head for a bit, just while all of that was going on? And then when it all finished, he then, threw the towel away, went up, hugged one of the gate staff, and then went straight to the plane like that.
Yep. And then,
Amazing.
both hands, one finger pointing up to the sky.
Yes.
That was it.
So do you think that could suggest that we might see the likes of Semedo and obviously the not so much fringe players, because we all love Semedo, we all love all the players at the minute.
Yeah.
But do you think Carlos is gonna rest people, or do you think he's gonna sort of try and keep that momentum going?
I think Carlos will stay true to who Carlos is. I think he will play a strong team. I think he'll make a couple of changes, and possibly Westwood could be one of them. But I think other than that, we'll see a more or less full strength team, because
How much would we all kill to see George Hurst though?
I think he's away on international
absolutely.
duty.
But this is not just like a mid-table end of season nothing game. We've got to win this game to make sure that we're going into the playoffs in really good form. Because we've had a wobble, but beating Cardiff 3-0 was a great result. But we need to follow that up by giving Wolves a good hammering as well. And all the evidence. I don't know if you've seen any of this, but there's quite a few people that have done kind of studies this week and they've put tweets out and stuff about teams that go into the playoffs in bad form never win the playoffs. It's always the teams that have won either their last 2, 3, maybe 4 games that go on and win the playoffs. So yeah, we've just got to absolutely make sure that we beat Wolves, and I think that means playing our full strength team.
It's a bit of a shame, really, because I don't think we might not see Semedo as much or at all after this season, would we? And personally, I'd really love to see him just having a bit of a run out.
He's got a role to play in the club, though, hasn't he? But I'm not sure that it's a role on the pitch anymore. I just don't think he's of that standard.
I don't care whether he's of that standard or not. I want to see him leading us out in our first game in the Premier League. I don't care how badly he plays. I don't care if he immediately slots 6 own goals.
Could he be a mascot? Would you accept him as a mascot?
No,
holding Kieran Westwood's hand.
No, I'll be the mascot. Semedo can play. I don't care. Loyalty in football is an art that we are losing, and Jose Semedo, all that he ever wanted was to be the equal of Cristiano Ronaldo, his best friend. And you know what? Playing for Sheffield Wednesday in the Premier League immediately puts you on that level. They talk about great clubs. They talk about Real Madrid, they talk about Barcelona, and they talk about Sheffield Wednesday. So I think we need to make sure that Jose Semedo's dream comes true. At the very least, can we put him in a Baz Owls costume and get him out there as Baz Owl?
He'd be too busy hugging people to anything else, wouldn't he? He'd be like, oh, I love you, love you.
Can you imagine Semedo and Reader Johnson as Ollie and Baz Owl going forward? From now
Ollie would have grown by about a foot. Can you imagine? All you'd be able to see was Reader's neck and then this owl head just on top.
Wearing a leather jacket.
With New Hue on the back of his shirt.
Another thing is, just while we've got James on the line still, before he has to go and finish drinking Ireland dry, you did notice a bit of a cracking tweet as well this week, didn't you, Jay? Oh boy.
Oh, is this the Lee Peacock tweet? This was absolutely fantastic. We all see it every day. There is, if you follow the SWFC hashtag, you'll see that every day there is this page that posts like a word search where you've got to find like 7 or 8 Wednesday players in it, and it's been going for years. So obviously it gets more obscure every day. But I didn't realise that they do this for every single club. And there's one that they do for Mansfield with famous. I think it's Mansfield. Yeah, famous former Mansfield players. Of course, Lee Peacock played for Mansfield, and he was the first to spot himself in the word search that they published.
Lee,
and they put out this brilliant tweet, which was, "Congratulations to Lee Peacock, first to find Lee Peacock in our word search." It was brilliant.
So, somewhere in Mansfield, there's like some 11-year-old kid who like raced to get that answer and found it. It was like a minute too late. In your face, Mansfield kid. Lee Peacock is here.
I found myself. I am so proud. Just before I go, can I just, I'm really proud of this. I'm just point out that on Saturday after the Cardiff game, I made it out until nearly 9 o'clock.
Round of applause.
Ladies
and gentlemen. Fantastic.
Go, James.
See, everybody is on the up. Even James's bedtime is on the up.
Although you did leave the pub drunk at about 8 o'clock and said you were going home to bed. So was that just an hour journey home, or?
I did go to another pub on the way home, and I'm trying to remember where it was. It was Champs. I went to Champs for a beer before staggering home and buying a burrito, which apparently most of which ended up in my beard. So I was staggering down Ecclesall Road with bits of chicken dangling from my beard.
And this,
I didn't realise until my housemate...
or gentleman is my best friend James. So, if you're interested, get in touch. If you want to date James, it's at Victoria1867. Send me your name, your photo, and your vital statistics.
Make sure you use the hashtag burrito beard.
Phil James's beard.
I will vet you.
You get a day and a meal out of his beard.
James, thank you so much. Oh boy, what an absolute pleasure. Enjoy the rest of your holiday, I'll be.
Thank you.
Love you.
And
Have a great
as
time.
ever, I'm looking forward. I'm back on Friday, so I'll be at Wolverhampton on Saturday. So
To
look
cheer
forward to seeing
Semedo
lots
on.
of Wednesday fans having a big playoff party. Come on.
Fantastic.
Fly like the wind,
All right.
my friend.
Have a
See you
good
later,
night.
guys.
Let me know you're home safe.
Of course I will. I'll give you 2 rings later on.
Thank you.
All right. See you guys.
Okay, mate. Bye.
The sad thing is, he actually will.
The Wednesday Week is proud to be associated with Cavendish Cancer Care. Cavendish is a Sheffield charity dedicated to improving the quality of life for people living with cancer. No one should face cancer alone, so Cavendish provides emotional support through counselling and complementary therapies. The services they provide are free of charge and are funded through donations. If you can help or would like to find out more information, you can go to www.cavcare.org.uk. That's CAVCARE.org.uk. Right then, ladies and gents. So obviously, there's not been a huge amount of Wednesday news this week because of obviously the excitement that we've had. So again, we've put that little message out there. Well, why do we do this to ourselves? Asking people if they have any questions for us. Hold on to your hats, ladies and gents. It gets a little bit silly, mainly due to Neil Hargreaves and Cleggy Clark basically tickling each other, shall we say, over there on our Facebook. So first things first. Neil Hargreaves asks, how far can Chris waddle? Probably.
Well, I can tell you this actually, because Chris waddled about 4 years ago for Cavendish Cancer Care all the way around Chatsworth.
So there you go.
He can waddle a long way.
Next one. Cleggy says, can Jack hunt?
Of course he does, but he only obeys the law, and so therefore he hunts using a drag hunting mechanism involving a perfumed rag being pulled around fields. The last thing that we need is Jack Hunt being arrested and jailed for contravention of the Hunting with Dogs Act 2004.
Next one we all know the answer to. Do you think, again from Neil Hargreaves, do you think Victoria would?
Is that a statement or a question?
Of course she would, let's be honest.
Then it just got really silly after that. Ask Rogers over there again on Facebook asked, how much fudge can Dan pack? Again, a bit. Let's face it, he's a seasoned professional at packing fudge. He's
a seasoned fudge packer.
Next one we've got on there, let's have a little nosy. Now, again, Cleggy Clark over there on Facebook. Did Victoria get her bucket filled? Yes, we've covered how much Victoria got her bucket filled.
To the brim.
Absolutely.
To the brim. Yeah.
So
someone actually used that hashtag the other day.
Absolutely.
To the brim.
To the brim.
Thanks, Matt Taylor.
So from Ben Mallam over there on Twitter, Monster Munch, got smaller or have your hands got bigger?
Well, I've been 5'2" since I was about 11, so I'm pretty much guessing that my hands have not got bigger nor smaller. But I also don't like Monster Munch, so I can't comment.
Oh, you can't. Roast beef Monster
They
Munch
smell
are the
like
best
feet.
crisps ever.
They smell like feet. I don't want to eat feet shaped like feet, right?
Are you sure that your feet don't smell like crisps?
No, right. Right, I don't want to smell feet and eat something in the shape of a foot. Why is that even a snack?
Oh, I've seen those videos. Stop fibbing. Next one. Oh, Paddy over there at the New York Owls. How much drink was consumed by the team in total at the weekend? I think we're probably best off not divulging that. Let's.
I think we took some photos. I'm pretty sure that the stack of empty plastic pint pots reached over a couple of foot.
Yeah, we'll put the photo out on the social medias, shall we? Right, what else we got?
My favourite one, my lord, was from Matthew Swindle, and it was one that Eddie actually answered, but it was, what's your opinion on the pedestrianisation, easy for me to say, of Norwich city centre?
I, for one, think it's important that consumers have access to Dixon's. That's a joke that hasn't been done enough in the last couple of years.
Quite a serious question, actually, from Egg Sutcliffe over there on Twitter. Says, are we ready to be promoted? Could we survive in the Premiership at the moment?
Yes, as long as we play Jose Semedo every
It is a good point. I mean, if we do get this sort of flash promotion that none of us were really expecting, do you think that obviously we've got a few players on long-term contracts now, so we've got the spine of the team, if you like. But obviously, I think we'd expect Mr. C to dump a bit more money into the place as well. Do you think on players, etc.?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? I think if we go up, we're going to invest, aren't we? Because he's going to get all the money anyway. And we all know Mr. Chansiri is not in this for money now. It's not even a question in his mind about making money. He is in this for just having a bit of a laugh, chucking some money around. It's just a rich boy's hobby, isn't it? And he's loving it. So if we go up, yes, he's going to invest. Of course he is. But if we don't, we've got next season, season after, and we will do it the easier way than what's happened this season. So I'm not worried in the slightest. If we go up, yes, he will invest. If we don't, he'll keep going as he was.
No.
You know what? The fun part is that we're not one of these teams that has bought a load of players in and they have been bought because they're at the peak of their career and this is the chance for them to get up to the Premier League. We're actually a team that's still on the upward curve with young players and all that sort of stuff. So who's to say that the team that we've currently got that are doing all right in the Championship aren't also capable of stepping up and doing it in the Premier League? It would be amazing to think that we could be playing. There's some of them. Wallace is probably past it as far as improving as a player is concerned. Leuven's likewise. Westwood's probably at his peak. But hey, guess what? We've still got the core of a team who are 23, 24, 25, 26. A couple of extra players of real quality, and I can imagine that team competing, to at least be comfortable in the Premier League come May 2017 or 2018. So hey, let's enjoy it.
Thierry out of interest?
206.
No, how old is he?
He is 1990, so he is 26.
Oh my God. I'm so old.
Well, this is. I mean, I know we've done a lot of harking back this evening, which has made me feel like an extraordinarily old lord. But if you look at the team that did get that promotion in the '91 season, a lot of that team, obviously Nielsen, Ozzie, etc., did come into that Premiership team. We had a few additions, of course, Mark Bright, etc., when we did get to the Premier League. But we've done it before, haven't we? It's the spine of the team that's a really important thing, and that team spirit, that togetherness, and it's certainly something we're seeing, isn't it?
I think the spine is the key thing there, isn't it, mate? We've got, I talked about Westwood. Wildsmith will come into his own and will replace Kieran Westwood at some point. So goalkeeper, check. Tom Lee's very young still, check. In midfield, we've got Hutchison and Lee, check. But Barry Bannon's not old by any stretch of the imagination, but those two will be absolutely key. And then up front, Lucas João is not the finished article yet. He's a real project, and that's before we get into the progeny of David Erickhurst. This is a team that isn't as good as it's going to be, and that's what's the most exciting thing for me.
Absolutely.
It's right good, isn't it?
How exciting is it?
A bit of a shout to James Nelson that popped a similar question about if we do get promoted. And finally, from the questions for this evening, Andy Stevenson, again over there on Twitter, says, exactly where is the safest place to sit when New Who shoots? He thought to be safe in the north stand, but apparently he wasn't.
Bramall Lane.
Adjacent to the 18-yard box.
If you want to come and sit round here, right, sit on my back garden. You can't see the north stand from there.
Is that a euphemism?
So you'll be barking. No, it's not. Fudge isn't even on. Stop it. Right? You can sit on my back garden. You can't see the north stand. You can't see the south stand. You can't see the west stand. So it's absolutely fine there. I'm pretty sure you won't get hit by a New Who shot. However, I can't guarantee it. So please have your own insurance.
Whenever you walk into Victoria's house, you do have to sign the waiver beforehand, just in case.
Just in case New Who takes a corner or a shot.
That's like a challenge to get a football from the pitch in your back garden there.
No, it's not. No, please
There you go,
don't do
Dave.
that.
There you go. That could be Cavendish Cancer Care's next charity event. People just kicking the footballs out of
Can
it.
Dave shoot?
Shove your balls in Vic's back garden.
No!
Phil Vic's
Oh, I'm
backyard.
going home. I've had enough.
Oh, brilliant. Right then, ladies and gents. So that's just going to bring us to an end for this week's show. Of course, hopefully we'll be able to speak more about what will happen when we do reach the Premiership in our pre-season podcasts for next year. Right, ladies and gents. So just before we do pop off, we have had a bit of a correspondence from our friends over there at Essex Owls, who are having another get-together for the playoff legs, of course. They're arranging a night out in Chelmsford for the second leg away semi. They'll be in the pub The Plough next to the Chelmsford train station. So if you would like to get involved with that, you're down that in that surf, where all them surf people with.
Should we send fudge?
To be honest,
just ruin their night.
yeah, it'd just spoil it for everybody, wouldn't
He
it?
ruins everyone's night anyway, let's be honest.
If you would like to get in touch, of course, at Essex Owls over there on Twitter. And of course, the chap that runs that, Nick, he also does a cracking podcast himself, What the Faux Travel Podcast, with his lovely other half, Amy. So if you're into that kind of thing, have a little search for that as well. Victoria.
Oh, no, before we go, can I mention my new job?
You've got a new job.
Oh, wow.
This sounds terrifying.
I'm not on Babe Station, right? So, my lord, I have just this week secured a role. Ooh. I'm going to be writing for the72.co.uk. I'm going to be the Sheffield Wednesday consultant. So, if you have any stories or... In fact, no, don't send me anything. I'm fine on my own. But yeah, so tune in and look out for my words.
Hang on, that's going to be a 3-week role, literally, because the 72 is all about teams that aren't in the Premier League.
I know, but after that, I still get paid to do other stuff. It's just for the time being, I'm doing Wednesday. It's fine.
Bro, well, send me a price list.
Oh, there must have been scraping the bottom of the barrel there. Victoria.
Right. It's all right. I'll just scrunch up my journalism qualifications and shove them in your face, shall I?
Can I just add something before you go over to Vic? I've just literally on Twitter, Coventry City have just announced their player of the season.
Go on.
Please.
It's
oh my
John
God.
Fleck. John Fleck. It's not Reader Johnson. Everyone would be good. Who the hell is John Fleck? Never heard of him.
I've never heard of him. John Fleck is like what you get if you flick a tin of paint, isn't it? You get a little John Fleck.
To be honest,
no, that can't be right.
I think we've been done there because
we've been royally screwed there, haven't we?
Absolutely. I call conspiracy on this. I think it's nonsense.
Trended.
We trended. I think we might have got Reader into a bit of trouble.
Sorry, Reader. We know you listen. We love you.
We only did it for a giggle, Reader. I apologise. But I did notice that the terms and conditions were changed of the entry for that particular award, where you had to play 17 games throughout the season, even though Reader hadn't played 17. You should play 16.
It's so close, Reader.
Why on earth?
Every device I've got.
Why on earth to put him on the list to be chose for? He had not played enough games. So yes, I think we should apologise to Coventry City. Apologise to Reed Johnson. We are sorry, but it was chuffing funny, wasn't it?
You know what?
To be fair, Reed will be listening to this now and wetting himself. He won't understand a word of it. But Reader, are you laughing? Are you? Oh, Reader.
Let's not be glum here, because simultaneously as Coventry were making mockery of democracy with that absolute crock, Fernando Forestieri, this is up-to-date information from Dom House and friend of the show, he has watched Fernando Forestieri beat off both Barry Bannon and Tom Lees. No, hang on. No, there were some words missed out there. Dom Howson is reporting that Fernando Forestieri beat off competition from Barry Bannon and Tom Lees to win the Sheffield Star Football Award tonight. Player of the season.
Well done.
Player of the season.
Fantastic. I think we've got everybody so excited with Phil Vic's buckets, then it's just going round now.
100%.
I can so well behave tonight because there's no fudge.
And to add to that, Ed, they've also voted Carlos as manager of the year.
Oh, fantastic! Can't
So
argue with that.
we're wiping it clean.
Absolutely.
What did John Brayford win?
Second best beard.
Beard, yes.
Didn't even
After
win
Dave.
best beard. Gutted. Dave won it.
Victoria, my darling, if people would like to find your wonderful words, etc., etc., where can we find out the news all about you over there on social medias?
All my news is available at Victoria1867 on the Twitter.
Fantastic. Rich Albin, what an absolute pleasure to have you on properly for a change. Rich, of course, is usually hidden away in the background doing our social media, but if people want to get a love of you personally, Rich, where can we do that?
You can find me on with my ramblings on at Dickie Owl on Twitter. And unlike Vic, I'm not on Tinder, so you can't get me on there.
I am no longer on Tinder.
Ooh.
Off the market.
Just a bit, yeah, it's fine.
It's hard work having your bucket filled that much, that often, Eddie.
Exactly. That's it. I was like, after Saturday, that's it. I'm not bothering anymore. My bucket's been filled. No more Tinder or plenty of fish.
Eddie Albin, where can people get hold of you over there on the Twitterage?
Speaking of plenty of fish, I'm excited because as soon as the football season is over, there's something else that we all have to look forward to, and that is the release of possibly the best film, the most eagerly awaited film of all time, and that is Sharknado 4,
fantastic.
which is subtitled.
I thought you were talking about Diggerland Lakes.
Hey, hang on.
Oh,
Diggerland.
So, Wednesday week
Diggerland.
trip to see it.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm thinking we'll call it the Wednesday weekender. Friday night we all go and watch Sharknado 4. Saturday we go to fucking Diggerland. And then Sunday we all fill Vic's bucket.
Feel or feel? I didn't hear that properly.
You know what? Either. It's, you know what? We'll make money no matter what. So,
Oh, God.
so yeah, look out for that. If you want to get to pre-book, because spaces are limited, not that limited, of course. At Sausage Arms on Twitter.
Fantastic. Of course, you can get all the meat over there on the Twitterage as well at Lord HSL0RD_H. You can get all the podcast and speak to Rich again at TWWcast. You can find us on Facebook, on YouTube. Again, I would like to thank everybody that has liked the videos and given us those reviews over there on iTunes as well. I can't stress how much that really, really helps the podcast to grow. And I really, really do appreciate that. Ladies and gents, it's been a pleasure as always. Be good. Be safe.
And we'll see you real soon.
There's a chance here. A great save. A turner from McClare. Might come. A terrific goal by Sheridan.
Brexman against Jones. Get in.
You could have two goalkeepers in there. They would have trouble saving that.
Do you know, I've actually started saying that to my dog in the morning. Actually, I'm like, right, I'll see you later. Be good, be safe. I'll see you real soon. She's like, what the fuck are you talking about, mother?